Jesse, surely we must be close to being done. Can you tell the ibuprofen is kicking in? I feel a lot better. Okay, so yes, we are very close to being done, in fact. So close that in fact the next thing we need to do is install the pickup system. And that is the last thing we need to do. So, take our instrument, which is now a playable thing, and we look at the back, and we say, hello back. You seem to be missing some stuff. Yes I am. Well, cool, let's fix that. Okay. So what do we need here? Well, we need our cavity cover, which is a P-bass style, P-bass or jazz bass. We need our output jack plate, not the jack, just the plate, and our jjbelectronics pickup system. You can either use the PPS 200 like I have here, which has no volume or tone controls, because I don't use them, or you can get the fancier one for $40, which I have put in 2 Cellotars previously and is a great system, has volume and tone. And the only difference there is you'd have to hollow out underneath the plywood in this upper horn so you can put the volume and tone controls in there. Because this has no volume and tone controls, it's pretty straightforward. It has 2 piezo discs. Those are the pickups. There's a transducer. It converts vibration to electrical signal. And that is how we get sound. And the reason we have 2 of these is because when you have 2, you can put one in front of the bridge and one behind the bridge, and you do both of them on the bass side of the bridge. And what that gives you is a natural EQ that fattens up the bottom end and makes it sound more cello-y, which is of course what we're going for here. So if you had a higher tuned version of this, if you did the highest 4 strings on the guitar, for instance, probably wouldn't need that, but I still recommend it because it rounds things out nicely. So here's what we got to figure out. We need to figure out where the bridge is located. Oh, sorry. Before we do this, we need to make sure that the bridge is located in the right place, intonation-wise. So the bottom strings sound okay, the top ones sound out. So I'm going to try angling the bridge a little bit. Yep, now that sounds right. Okay, so the note at the 12 should be in tune with the open string. And you can use an actual tuner. Check this. I've done it enough that I know I can ballpark it just with my ear, and that'd be good enough. So you can fix that later, but just for the sake of positioning the bridge, that's all we really need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eyeball down the side of the instrument and look where the bridge is, and then rotate the instrument and mark inside the cavity where it is located. And I am closing one eye to make sure perspective doesn't play a role here. Okay. So now I got the front to back position, and now I'm going to do the same thing with my side to side position. Look and see where the bridge foot sits relative to the oak core and structures and stuff I have on the back. So it looks like it's just beneath the ridge down in here. So I've done is I've marked where I believe the bridge to be. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap the top. Here we get, it's a lot brighter. There's not much going on above the bridge, just because of how close it is to the choke point here in the design. There's definitely a lot more resonance happening behind the bridge. So that seems to be good there, there. Right at the bridge is good. And it's pretty good until about back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark furthest back position. I'm getting good tone. And so what I think I'm going to do, in previous designs, I have put one of the piezo discs in front of the bridge bass foot and one behind. But based on the way that the tap tone of the instrument sounds, I'm actually going to put one piezo directly underneath the bass foot of the bridge, and then put one back here where I heard good top resonance before it died out because of the end block. And that way I'll get a more direct sound, and then I'll get more of the body resonance, and I'll put them both along the bass side of the bridge, and that should give us a nice round tone. So what we got to do here, and the reason that this is designed the way it is back here, is we feed the piezo discs through the output jack over to the cavity, like so. That's why all this is here. Now we're going to, you can use double-sided tape to put the piezo discs, you know, in different places on the underside of the top to try them out, so you don't have to commit right away. Alright, so one thing I didn't think of is the output jack from the jjbelectronics system is a little too wide for the hole in my output jack plate, so I need to drill that out. I thought to myself, widening holes is boring, I'll do it off camera, and then I cut my finger. So you missed the one potential piece of gore in this whole thing. Anyway, so yeah, widened that hole, so now it's wide enough. How exciting. So, put in the output jack from the JJB kit into my output jack plate, and then slide it into place. Sometimes you have to rotate things because of the way stuff sits. So now I'm going to poke holes where the two output jack screws go, which probably the screws that I used to install the tailpiece, because I'm stupid. I need to find some alternate screws. Normally the screws for output jacks are a little fatter than pickguard screws, but pickguard screws generally are a pretty good fit for both cavity covers and output jacks. So I actually think I found some black screws that are pretty reasonably the same thing as the ones that are supposed to go in here. So we're gonna go with those. Electric screwdriver. And the reason you want chunkier screws than just pickguard screws is because you don't want your jack plate tearing out and pulling on the cable, tugging the cable out of the back of the instrument puts a lot of strain on the attachment points. So bigger screws for the output jack, definitely a good idea. That's why they come with them that size. Okay, so that's in there. It is a good idea to check that a cable will seat all the way down in the output jack before you claim that's done, because sometimes there's not enough room and you have to drill out some extra space. But yep, it seems pretty happy. So we're gonna call it good. So, trying to tighten this a bit, but I think that's gonna happen. Alright, so we have our 2 locations figured out for our piezos. And I have a lot of sawdust, it looks like, down there. I do want some I do want the surface to be roughed up enough so that the super glue will stick, but not too much. But I think we're in good shape. All right, so I've got the 2 locations, and got my 2 piezo heads. I'm sure I can kind of finagle the cables around and get these where I want them. Yep, that looks pretty good. And yeah, the P base cavity is overkill. I just wanted a lot of room to work. And also means there's more room for you want to do something more complex in here. Using these designs as a starting point, you have some extra room. So what I need now is I need something that I can use to kind of hold the piezo disc against the inside surface of the top really well for the 30 seconds super glue setting up. So I got like a putty knife here, spade bit. The idea is you just want to be able to, press and hold the thing against the backside of the top until the super glue sets up, which is usually about 30 seconds. Bleeding on the table now. I always say that an instrument build is not legitimate until I bleed on it. So now I have bled, so this build is now legitimate. Congratulations everyone involved. You're welcome to the client. Okay, so you can see where I want it. Let's see if I can hold it down most easily with which one of these. If I had been smarter, spade did work. I mean, this putty knife seems to work pretty good. If I'd been smarter, I would have designed the cavity so it was completely open over the back of where the pickups go. But honestly, this is a lot easier than doing anything like this in a classical instrument. So, still an improvement. If you've ever had to reinstall the sound post in a cello or a violin, you know what I'm talking about. It's brutal. You need specialized tools, or you have to just make crap up, which is what I had to do. Alright, so I'm now putting pressure, gluing that down to the top there. I'm going to hold this for at least 30 seconds. I confirmed that I'm putting positive pressure on the piezo disc against the back side of the top, so should be good to go. One of the other reasons why it's great to just buy these pre-wired kits from jjbelectronics is I never have to worry about them not working. You can just drop them in here, you don't have to test continuity, you don't have to rewire, resolder anything, and then possibly screw it up. So I love being able to just drop these in, stick everything in place, and then button it up and you're done. It's definitely the way to go, especially at the incredibly affordable price point he makes these things at. I haven't been counting. Well, it's probably, yeah, that looks like it's well in there. So now pick up number 2. Put a nice substantial amount of super glue on the back of that. I'm using the guide marks I created for myself. Put it in place. Hold it down. Putty knife. I'm also jamming my fingers in along the back of the putty knife to create more pressure. Kind of like a wedge between the inside back and the knife, which I'm also bending. Just trying to put a substantial amount of pressure on that so that it glues to the surface really well. So once this is done, all we gotta do is put the cavity cover on. And the instrument will be complete. Pretty rad, huh? That's pretty rad. I've been building these things in some form or another for 11 years now. Sounds pretty unreal, to be honest. It's a freaking long time. My daughter's only been alive for 3 years. 11 sounds ridiculous. If my cellotar creating adventures were a kid, they'd be starting high school in a year, 2 years. It's pretty insane. Alright, so that's glued in. So now I just have some of these pick guard style screws laying around. I believe they are these number 4 3/4 inch. They're very similar to like a strap pick guard screw, so that's why I tend to use them for a lot of stuff. So now I'm just going to mark my screw positions with my awl substitute. And remember, the top two screws here are just going to be going into pine, so don't try to screw them into too much because they're just going to spin. These bottom two corners are going into the oak, so those you don't put them in too far anyways. You're just trying to have this cavity cover stay on. That's all we're trying to do here. And between these four screws, you really don't need any force. It just needs to go. Just need to go in all of it. That's it. I mean that one screw would hold this on just fine. So don't and you can use Velcro or something like that if you prefer, if you want to be able to get in and out of this more easily. But I've just always used screws, so now I'm doing it here. So the top two, the ones that go into the pine, going super easy. These bottom ones are more temperamental. Make sure to get a better starting hole on them. So that's it. It's done. Just need to clip off these string ends. Pure imagination, it came back. Told you it would. That's it. Get it back up to pitch and plug her in, take her for a test drive. Well, I hope you found this informative and inspiring. Fretted bowed instruments are a thing it's really hard to come by, and I want to help make that less so because I think they're really cool. I think they have a space, especially as an alternative instrument for guitar players. So, hope this inspires you to build your own, whether that be yours or my designs. You can buy the plans on cellotar.com. Plans for both bodies and fingerboards and headstock decals and the whole shebang. So please consider going and buying those to support me. Hope you have a great day, and catch you on another DIY music.